Well, now, the government's duty of care towards members of the armed forces and their families is to become enshrined in law for the first time. Ministers are expected to make a statement on Monday to outline how the military covenant will be made legally binding. David Cameron had been accused of watering down his election promise to give it formal legal status, but it's thought the new provision will concentrate on broader principles rather than making specific welfare pledges. Here's Carl Dinnan.
It boils down to this: if you fight for your country will look after you. For years it didn't seem necessary to make the military covenant law, but more recently it's been broken so often that the Ministry of Defence is expected to announce just that on Monday. The military covenant is pretty straightforward in principle, but it covers a wide range of commitments, including provision of the best training and equipment, adequate medical care and compensation, proper family support, especially in housing and education, and a promise that service personnel will never be abandoned or ignored. What we don't know is whether there will be any detailed pledges on those commitments. Detailed pledges could hand the ammunition to lawyers representing those who've been let down. But without any detail, the legislation itself will seem to lack firepower.
We're glad that they're trying to legislate for it, but the devil will be in the detail and in the funding. And unless there are concrete, explicit, funded proposals, then it won't be much more than a pious aspiration.
Visiting the Ark Royal last year, the Prime Minister associated himself closely with the pledge to enshrine the covenant.
I want all of these things refreshed and renewed and written down in a new military covenant that we write into the law of our land, so we show how we stand up for our armed services.
But when Mr Cameron returned to dry land, an annual Commons debate on the covenant was all that appeared in the Armed Forces Bill. Mr Cameron was accused of running away from his own pledge. Now he's accused of charging back to it.
If this is true, it's a welcome U-turn, because our armed forces are entitled to new support and guaranteed legal entitlements. The problem, though, is the government's only doing this because they knew they were going to lose the vote in the House of Commons. The British Legion, the Labour Party and so many others had demanded the government stuck to its promise. So they're doing the right thing for the wrong reason to avoid a humiliating defeat, but we welcome it.
Today, the Ministry of Defence declined requests for an interview, saying only that discussions were ongoing. But while central government's plans for service personnel must wait until Monday, the local government association has been highlighting actions its members are already taking around England and Wales, including Birmingham City Council, which is building new homes especially for ex-service personnel. Barnet, where ex-services personnel will be prioritised for social housing, and North Tyneside, where they're introducing free use of their gym and leisure centres for all serving personnel. But whatever the government is proposing to offer returning veterans on Monday will have to be a bigger offer than free gym sessions if it's to be seen to be living up to its pledge on the Covenant.